Let's look at more detail about what the videographer does in each of the camera rolls. We'll cover the wide or full stage camera first. Your primary job is to get the best possible video of the whole performance, the choreography, the big picture, without missing anything. This includes wide shots of each and every piece in the performance, any announcements, presentations, bows, etc., through to final curtain. Here are some tips for getting good video from the wide camera. First, strive for an image that is 100% usable. All zooms should be slow and controlled. Use of the servo helps. All pans should be smooth and deliberate. Don't jerk the camera or attempt to move it too quickly. Next, always be mindful of the framing, up and down as well as side to side. Zoom in as much as possible without forcing the camera to move too often. Once you pick your shot, don't continually adjust or allow the camera to drift up or down. The overall scene you are shooting should be roughly in the middle of the frame with as little empty space as possible on the sides. The center of the target dancers' bodies should be below the middle of the frame, and the dancers' feet and raised hands should be within the frame with plenty of breathing space around them. The scene includes the dancers, the drapes or projected image, and reflections on the floor. Occasionally re-establish the role of the props and scenery that is important to the audience's understanding of the choreography. This may require zooming out beyond the dancers periodically. If you need to, be smooth about it. Minimize dead space in your shot around the outside. Minimize empty space to the left or right of the last dancer in a formation. Minimize the black of the stage front, the black drapes on either side, the walls and ceiling above the stage.
Generally, the starting shot for each number should be at the full width of the stage because you don't actually know where the dancers will enter. The theater may be very dark before the performance starts and between numbers, so look for points of light to help position the image. For example, a small light near the stage or an exit sign right or left of the stage can give reference points for the camera. The limits of the curtain may be detectable, or perhaps an audience member with a white shirt or white hair, whatever shows up in the dark. Anticipate entrances and exits as possible. There's often a pattern that helps judge this. The wide camera should almost always keep all dancers in the frame all of the time. Zoom in as the dancers come together, zoom out as they move apart. Hip-hop numbers are famous for having periods within the piece where the dancers come in tightly. This is a grand opportunity to get in tight with them. There are a few situations when the wide camera should zoom in briefly, rather than keeping all the dancers in the frame. In a ballet suite, or full act of a ballet, a set of dancers may frame the outside of the stage while another set of dancers performs. When there is no action for a group of dancers for an extended period, it is best to zoom in on the active group. Keep your eyes on the outside dancers and be ready to slowly zoom out and pick up their resumed movement whenever it happens. For a one-camera shoot, you will need to zoom to an active group more often. This is particularly true when shooting more theatrical numbers where the action centers on a particular part of the stage. This camera may also do a pan of a line of dancers that are clearly, through choreography, locked in position on the stage. In a one-camera shoot, this is a critical role for the wide camera. Hang on to the final pose until the lights go down, then pull out for the start of the next piece. Look for the points of light to help reposition the camera for the start of the next number. One of the most important mistakes the wide camera operator can make is being zoomed out too far and not zooming in enough as dancers come together. Once the background scene is established in the mind of the viewer, the focus should be on the dance. A second mistake that drives editors crazy is inappropriate framing of the shot so that it cuts off important portions of the scene. For example, the top of the background screen or the curtain. If you frame the shot with the center too high, the cut-off curtains or projection can't be recreated during the edit. Unnecessary camera movement, for example, up and down position, over-zooming, can cause a lot of extra work in editing because we often try to correct this type of mistake. The start of each number is important. There are two types of mistakes that are very easy to make and will cause you to lose this shot. If you haven't been able to reposition the camera effectively between numbers, you won't be in a good position at the start of a number. Being in autofocus at the start of a number when lights come up abruptly will often cause your camera to lose focus, requiring valuable seconds to re-establish the shot.